Hello, everyone. Welcome back to DCEU Mania. It is the last movie of the first week of this series. We're at about the halfway point, Austin, and crazy to imagine the journey we have been on so far, and how in just 1 week we are already to 2020 with Birds of Prey, and also kind of crazy to think how many more of these came out after this, given how spread out it is. Like, I, my mind is blown by 16 that there's that many of these.
Yeah, that's true. I guess you have 4 years from Man of Steel up to now, and then through next week is the next 3 years.
Next three, yeah. And some of that is movies that
Crazy.
were supposed to come out earlier and were kind of, put in a box, or things that got delayed. Some of that obviously was COVID. But you're right. I guess it's just 4 years and 3 years. It feels like a lot more time passed from. Well, you
hmm
said no. I guess it's
Yeah.
five, right? Because Man of Steel's 13.
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. What am I
Like five,
saying?
six
No, it's
years. Yeah.
7.
No,
Sorry,
it's
no, I'm counting from 2016, which is BVS. No,
BVS.
what am
Yeah,
I talking
but
about?
you did
Completely
have.
ignore me. I'm
No,
being
you're right.
stupid.
But I mean, it's late. We've already done one of these. But yeah, I mean, there's three in between. If you go back and look at the double features, the
Mhm.
second movie is always a very different energy than the first movie.
Yeah, exactly,
You're gonna see us
exactly.
talk slower. You're gonna see us be a little bit more deliberate. This
Be
one
a
there might.
little.
I was gonna say the first one is usually probably louder than the second one. That may not be true with this movie, but we'll see. Because there's either gonna be a lot of silence or a lot of screaming, and I don't know. I don't know which way that's going to go.
Mhm. No, and I do feel like I went into Shazam having almost nothing to say. Well, I feel like I have quite a bit to say about this. So,
Well, that's good because I kind of just want to let it wash over me. I haven't seen this in front. I mean, obviously, I'm going to respond to things, but it could be more growling and just facial things than, actual articulate sentences. I don't know what's going to happen with this with me. I saw this one time in the theater. I hated it. I was angry, and I went into this one thinking it had a chance at being decent. Like I was duped with the advertising with this one again. And I remember the day I went, I can't remember who. I remember a couple of people I was talking to about this and going like Captain Moo's gonna be terrible. And I'm like, I don't know, they're doing some kind of inventive things with the advertising. I thought the aesthetic of it looked kind of cool. I thought it had neat posters. I was like, there's a chance. It was obviously not what I wanted from something called Birds of Prey, but like I was open minded. I will say, Austin, I've got the same thing with this that you did with Suicide Squad, which is you said that's not a Suicide Squad movie. This obviously goes without saying it's not a Birds of Prey movie, and so then you have to take it on its own terms. And I didn't think it worked that way either. But like I went into this it not being what I wanted and still thinking I might have a good time with it. So for anybody that's like, "Oh, Cap, you just hate it because it's not like traditional comic book Birds of Prey," like I already knew that going into it.
mhm. No, we all knew.
Like I didn't go into this
And
expecting it to be like Chuck Dixon or anything or Gail Simone
things
even.
like that can work. Like, that was a big thing I was saying going into Thunderbolts.
Spiders
And I like
Lever,
that movie.
what are you talking about? It like, yeah, sure. It looked awful from the trailers. I legitimately thought it could be one of the worst things ever, just based off of that trailer. Well, that's what I'm saying. Is a lot of people were having that, and I saw the potential in it. Obviously, I was
Yeah,
wrong. I mean, you're correct. I obviously for
I
me,
actually don't remember the trailers.
we've got viewers that really like this movie. We're gonna hear from some of them with the Patreon comments, and I'll use that to segue into once again plugging Patreon, patreon.com/geekvolution. The $2 tier lets you. answer questions about these movies, and we'll read them on air for you. And if you haven't gotten one in for this, we'll make sure to refresh our pages and get those in during the show. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us. I know it's really late at night. Thanks for watching this after the fact if you're doing that. Once again, it's a Mania. Anything goes. There are no rules, and all we're promising is that we're going to watch the thing. Anything could happen during it. I could get up and leave and make Austin do the rest of it. And I am within my rights. Although I will promise not to do that with this, because people are gonna want to see me, sit through and suffer through this. So, like, I won't do that. I mean, I could have to get up for a second. I won't permanently leave. I will promise that.
It would have been funny if you just hit play, got up and left, and then I just sat here saying nothing, just staring at the camera for the next. Okay, I was at 2 hours. You have no idea how thankful I was when I pulled the movie up, and it's not a full 2 hours.
Oh, that is merciful. Which is weird, because that will make this the shortest of them so far. Not one of these has clocked under 2 hours.
Justice League, but like just barely.
I thought it was like 2 seconds over.
No, it was 2 minutes under.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Because when we started it, I was like, oh, I thought it was 2 exactly, but it's 2 minutes under.
I'll take your word for that. That's crazy, though.
Mm-hmm.
RJ Godzilla Cap, if we have to suffer, then you have to suffer. Yeah, we've got a couple people in the comments right now that have never seen this that are like really leery and worried because they're kind enough to come in here and do this crazy exercise with us.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if we're gonna burn, we're all gonna burn together. So
bring X and I hope more screaming. I mean that could absolutely happen. All right, let's just do it. Let's just rip the damn Band-Aid off. As always, if you want to make sure that your voice is heard and we talk about whatever you want us to talk about during this, or you just want to scream and I can like do an impression of you screaming, you can leave a super chat in $80 amount, and we will also try to interact with you some in the comments. And I'm going to try not to fall asleep. Not because this is boring, but because I'm getting really tired. Are you ready, Austin?
Yep, let's do it.
I feel like I'm about to jump into a vat of. We all know what the vat is of. If you were here for the BBS commentary,
Suicide Squad.
sorry, Suicide Squad. Yes, there was no vat of that in BBS. Okay, here we go. Are you ready, Austin?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Birds of Prey. This is the only time I'm going to say it. And the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn. They actually put that in the title. Everybody, please press play. Hold on. I got to fix my audio. Okay, we're good now. Everybody, please press play right now.
So, Cap, have you ever seen I, Tonya?
No, you've told me about it, though.
So it is great, and I am 100% convinced that after that movie, they went, "Oh, just do I, Tonya again with Harley Quinn."
Okay.
And just everything about it is so much worse, and it's also interesting because the director of that film is the director of Supergirl.
Oh, interesting.
That is true, Harley.
And this is the all-important movies open with a black screen. This is...
all-important films open with impregnation.
With a zygote! This is the first of these that's rated R.
No, I think this is PG-13.
No, this is R.
Is it R?
Yes. I looked it up today just to be
PG-13.
sure. I was pretty sure I was right about that. No, this is R.
Okay, I always thought it was PG-13.
It goes to some pretty vulgar places they could not have done in PG-13.
I guess that's true. It's been too long.
So I guess they feel the need to do this animated opening so that they can at least show the image of the Joker. Because doing the... Yeah, see, she's already had an F-bomb. Like,
okay.
They're going to have that all over this.
Hey, we made it actual slime this time.
Well, not only is there supposed to be... Is there always a badass broad, as she said, but if Amanda Waller is to be believed, she is, like, crazier than the Joker, even.
Mm-hmm.
That
She
heartbreaking
killed
was her
Robin.
falling into a vat of, you all know.
Oh. Now she's breaking up with Sir, not appearing in this film.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's one of the things that was really awkward about this from the start. Is I mean, we knew that going in, but like, it's about emancipation, and you don't see the thing that she was getting emancipated from, and that's especially weird because the last movie she was in ends with her going back to him, and then you don't even see anything in the interim. There's a movie missing in between, and I get that this is kind of soft rebooty anyway. All the way to you kind of can just imagine that it's not even that version of the Joker. Even though she's still got the tattoos and stuff, but like we've got that animated opening, so you're just looking at like a more traditional looking Joker. You can kind of imagine it's not even what's his face Leto.
No, the only connection really there in that animation is that after they put her in the classic suit, they then put her in the Suicide Squad suit. It just doesn't say Daddy's Little Monster.
Oh right, writer says the vat of snot. That's what it is.
Ah, there you go.
Why is she in roller derby?
Because Tanya Harding was a skater.
Oh, okay. Now to be fair, we've put Harley Quinn on roller blades in things or roller skates in things. But I don't know if they're thinking about that. Like, I say that. The only thing I can think of is the 60s Batman comics, but that's happened already.
Well, this is just very generic, like, I broke up with my boyfriend.
Rah rah girl power.
Relatable. Well, I mean, that's what we have now, but before that, it's like I'm gonna eat ice cream and cry.
Yeah, it gets real stereotypical. Chewbacca's Lover, $10 super chat. Did you know that, thanks a lot for the support, man. Did you know the whole reason it's a solo Harley instead of a Harley Joker movie is because of how awful Leto was to work with? One of her conditions was that he not come back. I'm not kidding, that's why. If that's true, I respect it a little more, but just recast. Who cares?
Mm-hmm.
She has a PhD, mother effer.
Yeah, I guess, no, you're right. This is R-rated. I completely forgot.
Hey, look, it's Black Mask.
Black Mask.
I'm gonna have a hard time not just
I don't
talking like
think
her the whole movie.
I think he only wears the mask like once too.
Well, that's the thing is I never even remember that Black Mask was in a big screen movie before. Like when people ask us sometimes on shows, Batman villains you want to see a movie, is Black Mask is one of the first things I think of, and I never remember he's in this.
That he's technically in a movie. Well, it's like
Yeah.
me with Killer Croc, where I'm like, oh, Killer Croc should be in a Batman or in a movie. Well, in Black Mask's henchman is also Zaz, who also doesn't look anything like Zaz.
I didn't even remember that. Really?
I think so.
This is gonna
That
be
guy
weird.
that we just saw with white hair, I'm pretty sure is Victor Zaz. Because there's like a weird thing where we keep making Victor Zaz like a mob enforcer in adaptations. I think we do that in Gotham as well.
Yes. Yeah. Which I don't like, but well, I guess it's appropriate for this movie that we're only like 3 minutes in and we've already had to watch vomit on screen. That's how I'm gonna feel here in a little bit. I'm open-minded. I do like the idea, I guess. I mean, it's just kind of natural that she would have like kind of had security in being with Joker, and everybody was like too scared to mess with her, and now she's more vulnerable. Would that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Trying to carve out her own way and everything. Would be more interesting if the first thing she did was try to go legit or something, but you'd be making a totally different movie.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine with her, I guess, going off to do her own criminal stuff. It's just more just awkward that we're not able to do any of that stuff.
Well, and is it just me, or does she feel like a completely different character than the previous movie?
Yes. But Harley and Joker have a very different relationship in Suicide Squad, so it's also weird. Oh no, we're flashing back
We're
to
flashing
the vat.
the vat of snot. The snot vat.
To the vat of snot. We're cutting around Leto though.
So
Oh,
did we just cut to her being right outside of Ace Chemicals, or was the bar she was at there, like right
I
outside
think
of Ace Chemicals?
they were at like a taco place. Like I don't think that was the same place. But
Okay,
she also
okay.
pulled margaritas out of the taco place instead of tacos.
This is the conversation we're gonna have to have. I like the
It was
colors of the
clearly a hot
explosions.
dog stand, and they asked for tacos, Cap.
All the different colors of the explosions is kind of a fun idea.
Hmm. No, and there's some good visual stuff in this film. Like
Yeah,
one thing I will give it is that the action's really well choreographed, from what I remember.
that's what everybody that was positive about this in the comments was talking about. We'll read those after a
Hmm.
while. And I remember the structure of this being kind of obnoxious, but not like Suicide Squad obnoxious.
Well, I quote constantly. I feel like it happens a couple times where she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to explain this," and then we flash back to something.
I'm sure I had this when this came out, but I'm just not remembering. This feels like absolutely a reaction to Deadpool.
Yes, it very much is a reaction to Deadpool.
And like even the opening and the structure of this is kind of like that, right? Where we've got all this voiceover and we're in the present day and she does this big violent thing and then it cuts back to okay, here's how we got here. Like Deadpool also did
Kind
that.
of the voiceover is like 100% I, Tanya. That's like the big thing it's cribbing from it.
Okay. And Deadpool
Um,
just happens to also do that.
yeah, it's different in that it's very like sarcastic about things in like a different way that Deadpool is.
Yeah, sure.
Uh, Here's Huntress, who is the best of the birds of prey and
I
gets the least to do.
Yeah, I remember
And
her
we
being the
also
best
see
thing
her
in this.
origin 3 times.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they keep doing it.
And I think there was somebody else I liked okay, but I can't remember. Maybe Renee Montoya is not terrible. I don't remember.
Yeah, I remember her just being kind of fine. But she has that stupid, like, she gets,
She's decent
like, her
casting.
clothes dirty, and then she walks around with, like, a stupid, like, sex joke shirt for the rest of the movie,
Oh, I forgot
which is
about that.
unfortunate.
And then obviously the big thing that pissed me off, like everybody, was Cassandra Cain and just
Hmm.
giving us the big middle finger if we're a fan of that character.
Hmm.
And all they
No,
had to
and
do was not make a joke out of the not talking thing, and I wouldn't have reacted the same way. It's like, okay, it's a different character, you just named her that. It's that they're laughing in my face about it. That pisses me off. Um, and I wouldn't obviously have that if this wasn't material I knew anything about at all. It's just, I like Birds of Prey, and
yeah.
if this was just a Harley Quinn movie, I would care a great deal less, and you could do kind of anything you wanted to. We haven't talked about this enough in DCEU Mania, but another thing this does that we cannot get away from in these movies is it's yet another team building movie. Like nearly all of them are. I think Aquaman is probably the only one we've had that isn't one of those, besides Man of Steel.
Yeah, I guess
Even
so.
even Shazam has it. And I mean,
Hmm.
it does it a lot better because you don't even know that they're building a team until the end. So like that's cool. Okay, let's see how intimidating Ewan McGregor can be.
And Victor Zsasz, who's killing this man. Yes, RJ Godzilla Rosie Perez is Montoya.
Why can't he just wear a black mask? I don't understand.
Because then we wouldn't get to see his face.
Oh, okay.
Like the face Victor Zsasz just cut off that man.
Oh. Or are they doing like a whole thing with that where he's black mask and name only, and there's like some motif? I don't remember anything
Let,
about what we do with him.
Like I said, I think he wears it at the end for like one scene.
And he wouldn't even have to wear it all the time if they don't want to do the like it's stuck to his face thing. But he could walk into rooms and have it.
Hmm. Or at least have it when he's trying to
He's
intimidate people.
obviously about to do something horrible to you. I don't think you should. You should thank him.
Yeah, and their choice with Black Mask is that he's very flamboyant, which I think is a strange choice.
Yeah. Oh, there's
Somebody said
there's his
earlier
black
that
mask.
yeah, there it is, and it looks really bad.
So yeah, it
As
does. So he peels off faces because he's black mask. Oh, okay.
yeah, yeah. Somebody said that.
Sorry, Austin, I
The
lost you
scene
for a second
pisses
there.
me off. Oh, okay. I said that's the stupid egg scene where she's orgasming at the sandwich being made, and I hate it so much.
That's the big thing people laugh at and complain about with this. The few people that still remember this and say anything about it, because this doesn't come up a lot.
Hmm.
Mercifully, I don't have to talk about this all that often.
Well, I think it probably helps that it, like bombed.
I was gonna say like that's notorious for the 5 people that saw it.
Hmm.
And yet, interestingly, did really well with critics. I don't
Oh, it did. I
understand
don't
that,
remember.
but
I remember it being more like divisive, where like there were a lot of people that really liked it. Oh, now that you say that, I do remember critics liking this.
79% on Rotten Tomatoes.
That's the same score as the first Pirates of the Caribbean.
That's
I'm
nuts.
deeply offended.
I don't want to get too political with this, but how much of that do you think is like an overcompensation where it's like we have so few like female-led superhero movies that people are just kind of more open to it and going like like going in hoping to like it or expecting to like it and kind of ignoring stuff. And I realize that we've got viewers that like it, so I'm not saying that you're nuts if you like this movie because I get that a lot of people do, but I would think it would be polarizing before it would be 79%. Like I have a hard time
Mhm,
understanding that percentage.
mhm. Yeah, like I said, I do think there are aspects of it that are well made, and we'll get there.
Yeah,
It's
sure.
also just really annoying.
Well,
When
and
there's certain things like that, like this, like the text, where I'm like, I feel like they're trying to go back to some of that Suicide Squad editing, but like on purpose.
at least it starts with it. At least they're not trying to force that onto a product that wasn't thinking about that in the first place.
Hmm.
Where the brighter colors and the psychedelic stuff and all that is like part of the vision in the first place. That's Sionis's driver. That's his name.
That is his name.
She's talking to her
Are you
sandwich.
ready for the tragic ending of the sandwich?
I'm ready for this whole scene to be done.
Lol, 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 lol. That's so random and quirky.
Yeah. I like the face on the truck.
That is cool.
I was so on the wrong foot
Is a
with this
cop
in the
not
first
concerned that
place.
a man just like whipped out a gun? I guess she's not seeing it.
I'm surprised there's nobody on the street right now knocking over fruit carts. Bob the Gun $5 Bob the Hun, not Bob the Gun. Bob the Goon. $5 to a chat. This is the criticism that modern Harley is just female Deadpool taken up to 11. She's so obnoxious. The sandwich joke Austin hates is exactly that.
Yes. Exactly.
Oh,
Hey,
look,
look, it's Captain Clown.
they showed the Joker from behind. You killed Captain Clown. I'm not gonna know what to say about any of this, Austin.
I regret my life choices
This
right now.
this is where the format breaks down.
There's Huntress.
Well, I know her name. She's Huntress. At least
What?
she's got a cool motorcycle.
No, Harley went, what? They're shooting arrows now? If you couldn't think of a clever thing to say, you didn't have to write a line in the script. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
If nobody's talking, nobody's laughing.
Yeah, see, she fell into the garbage in that last scene, so now she's gonna have to get changed. Yes, Canada, that's exactly what I was thinking of. It's the They Fly now.
So I didn't remember the Cassandra Cain thing was this early. So this has got to be a lot of why I was just real turned off real fast. I thought this was even later into the movie. Wait, can you explain something to me? How are we 20 minutes into this already?
Oh, I mean that's a good thing.
Well, I know, but did I go to sleep somewhere? Like, I feel like we've only been here 5 minutes. What happened? Oh, and she's wearing that stupid
No,
shirt
I mean,
now. How much of this
yeah.
is taste issue where it's just vulgar comedy that's not funny to me?
I
But-
think that's a big thing.
but
Like,
then,
if this lands, then
But then there's like lots of vulgar stuff in Deadpool that's not usually my thing, but it works for me in that. Like, it wins me over somehow.
but like, it's funny because she's a lesbian and she has a shirt that says "I shaved my balls for this." It's like the Arrow thing where I'm like, okay, but what's the joke?
Yeah. Is that why that's...
I mean, I guess this one, like, I can
You
understand
had
a
to
little bit
explain
more
that
than
to
that.
me.
And
I didn't even
with the
understand
Arrow
that was
thing, she just
why that's supposed to be
said
funny.
what
Okay.
happened. But okay, so this was the first time that we will see Huntress's origin.
Well, and Deadpool also does, like I said, this kind of quick cut structure thing where we're constantly like interrupting things to like go back and do a flashback or a montage or something, and then come back to present day. But somehow with this, it feels like the movie still hasn't started.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I'm telling you, go watch I, Tanya. You will see what this movie thinks it's doing.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just struggling to latch on to anything.
Hmm. Well, I think the thing, like, the reason you're struggling is that we don't really have a character that we're like focused in on. Like, now we've jumped to Montoya, we don't know especially well, and we gotta do the past stuff for Huntress, but we're also going to Harley, who's got like nothing to latch onto other than she's quirky and silly and she says things.
Yeah,
Like, I think you're supposed to be with Montoya here because she's getting chewed out for doing a bad job, and
well, and it's awkward
she's
to
getting
have
thrown
your main
under the
character
bus.
voiceovering things that she wasn't there for. So like I found that really distracting.
Hmm.
And
Nicholas Boto isn't I, Tanya more of a drama, like more so than this, but it is very like darkly comedic.
yeah, I just don't know anything about that movie, so if this is kind of playing as a parody of that or something, that's going to be completely lost on me.
Hmm.
But
Well, I
I
think
think
it's
that was
just because
part of my
that's Margot
problem with this
Robbie and
is
she's the producer of both, and it feels like
okay.
they're trying to bring that energy over. Oh, I think this is where we're about to get the first. I'm sorry, I
Oh,
didn't
she is
explain
here.
that.
Okay. So forget what I just said. I didn't realize she was actually going to walk into the scene. But like I don't know. I'm not understanding any of these choices.
Mhm. She also keeps like doing the eyebrow thing at the camera.
Yeah.
That's her thing, I guess.
This has got to be the weirdest and most lopsided trilogy of movies and superhero movies. Even over Venom, as baffling and awful as that is, where you have
Mhm.
Suicide Squad and then this and then the Suicide Squad, and so you have like a Harley Quinn trilogy, and it's a soft reboot every time.
Mhm. I guess, like Wolverine, you can argue that they get better with each movie.
I guess this is somebody's favorite scene, so I have to ring the bell now. This is making me look forward, of course, to watching the Suicide Squad again, because I'm reminded of some of the action stuff that is doing. And like,
Mhm.
yeah, this is really well shot, but when we just did the confetti thing, I'm reminded of that cool visual like butterfly thing we do.
Oh, with the art that like shoots out of her when you like get
Yeah,
into her headspace.
and this is stuff that's actually literally there. Where when you get to the Suicide Squad, we're like in her head, and we're seeing like how she's seeing things, like it's all a delusion.
I'm sorry, I forgot to explain this. I gotta go
Oh, and then we
back.
gotta rewind like all the way back to. Yeah, I don't like the structure of this at all. And like I get we're getting into a crazy person's head, and um she's scatterbrained, and this is how she sees things, and this is how her brain works or doesn't work.
Mhm.
But I like the difference between her and Deadpool as our eyes in character here is, and I know a lot of people find Deadpool really irritating, but like comparatively, she's nothing but irritating to me right now.
Mhm. Well, that's what I was saying. That's probably a good way to put it. Actually, Cap is in terms of not having anything to latch on to. Like, while I think some of that stuff kind of drags,
Hey, look who it is! I
you
forgot he
you
was in this.
yeah,
It's
there
the
he
foot
is.
guy from the Tick.
Um,
It's the Shredder.
you they do at least try to have human moments with Deadpool.
Yeah, you can see some humanity in him from almost the beginning. Where at first it's like he's a mercenary, he's just taking people out, and it's funny. And then you see his tragic
Mhm.
backstory. You see the romance, which really kind of endears me to him, and then his horrible tragedy in Weapon X, and like yeah, you can blame him to some degree for his creating his own backstory, but like you could sympathize with him to some degree, or as I could. And Harley Quinn,
Mhm.
she's just a psychotic person who worked with a psychotic person and realized that wasn't a great relationship, so she left it, and she's just a criminal and murdered, and
Mhm.
that's it. So I don't know what I'm
Yeah, I
supposed to
feel like
latch on to.
you need some mad love in your Harley Quinn breakup movie.
Yeah, and I still think you could do that better than they're doing it, even without the Joker.
Mhm.
You need those kind of lucid moments that you had in Suicide Squad. I need some of that performance to come back here. And maybe the problem is that they're just focused more on like too much on the comedy and not enough on the actual storytelling with her. This feels super plot driven to me. Where it's
Mhm.
like there's the MacGuffin everybody's after, and there's these other characters with like their own tragedies and issues.
Yeah. Well, I remember when this was coming out too. There was a rumor that the MacGuffin of this was a USB that has Black Mask's nudes on it, and it ended up being a big fight with the director and a YouTuber over it, where the director was like, "No, no, that's not real." So I'm not gonna say like that's like a real thing that happened. But I'm just reminded of that when you were talking about the MacGuffin thing, and it does feel like that could have like this does seem like the type of movie that would go to a place like that. But like I said, I'm not gonna say that that's real.
Yeah. And I get that Harley Quinn traditionally like is a total mess, and I don't know. I need something more to latch onto her with this.
Which shouldn't just be she's a mess and that's funny.
Yeah, and that's really what it feels like. Because we're not even playing up the like codependent thing where she's like lost without the Joker and doesn't know what to do with that. It's supposed to be, even though she's nuts and you're not supposed to condone the horrible things she's doing. I think what's supposed to be endearing about it is at least she left a toxic relationship, and like I think we're supposed to be applauding her for that and being endeared to her for that. Maybe that works better if it's a romance where she's going on with someone else, or maybe I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what the story even is here. I'm struggling with it.
Well, that's what's happening right now. Like Harley's having like a more somber moment.
Sorry, I'm talking over that.
No, it's okay.
I also wonder if this works better if the whole thing isn't team building for a team we'll have for 10 minutes at the end.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what? Especially because it's non-linear as it is.
Yeah.
Okay, so she is doing a little bit more of what I'm saying she should be doing. I wasn't giving it enough credit for that because I didn't remember.
Mm-hmm.
So she is lost without him. She does still have that codependent thing. She's in denial about it. I don't know, maybe open your movie with that. But but like we're non-linear already, so why not just have your big money shot of your Birds of Prey team like real early on in the movie and then jump around time after that? And I mean, like I get irritated by that kind of structure sometimes. I'm not liking the structure, but I'm trying to take this on its own terms and just say like, you know, have more of the action be with this actual team and their dynamics instead of like slowly having her meet all these people.
Is it awkward that like everything with Harley has been just quirky and that's funny, and now we're going to like these guys are gonna like molest Harley Quinn plays?
Yeah. I didn't even remember that. No, this is like the Titans pilot, where just all these characters are like branched off and on their own for too long. Tobin Belpons did show up, Austin, with his $1.99 super chat and split the middle. I'm very surprised. This movie doesn't suck that much. I thought he'd go one way or the other.
I mean, that still technically means this movie sucks, just not that much.
That mother effer was a good line reading, though. That was kind of funny. Yeah, I remember being kind of okay with this Canary, too.
Yeah, she's fine. I've seen a lot of people say that they want her to come back in the DCU, but I'm okay with like ignoring this movie.
Boy, that was a good kick. Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that too. That's okay. That's good. Movie's good now. I mean, I can't argue with some of this choreography.
We had some good action choreography.
I'll say that. Yeah. Somebody competent showed up and did that.
There should be a silent film edit of the.
Oh my god. I'd get right on it if I thought I could stand looking at this footage that much. But yeah, when this was announced, I was like, you can't just make a Gotham City Sirens movie if you've got to put Harley Quinn front and center like that. Like, Harley Quinn is not. I mean, I will go to this place real quick. Harley Quinn is not traditionally a Birds of Prey character. Obviously, we can't stop throwing her in it now, which is annoying.
Well, and if it was
she's in the current run.
Sirens,
I've been reading that. It's okay, but I don't need her there. We also keep using Big Barda constantly in Birds of Prey for some reason.
if it was Gotham City Sirens, you probably would have done more with them as a team. Like, you could have had something like, oh, she just broke up with the Joker, so instead of those just random girls she was hanging out with, she goes out with Catwoman and Poison Ivy. That's maybe an interesting idea if you're focusing it around Harley, is do it in like a one night thing where they get into like a crazy adventure.
That's great, and then you
like trying to cheer her up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you could almost play it like a real time movie.
Yeah, or at least just like a movie that takes place over a night. Yeah.
No, that's a really great idea. And there was talk about a Gotham City Sirens movie. I was joked that there were like several Harley Quinn and or Joker movies that were greenlit and then shelved, and this was the only one we ended up getting.
Mm-hmm.
When we saw that photo that this director put out of the first script, the title page, do you remember that? That was the Birds of Prey title, and it had the Fantabulous whatever. I was like, she's got a script. That movie's not going to get made. And then it actually got made.
Mm-hmm. Arguably,
face peely pants. Okay, great. $5 super chat. In defense of the not talking / choking thing, I think they do it because Cassandra just swallowed a diamond before arriving at the police station. Yes, they do that to contrive a joke over the fact that this is a character who traditionally, when we first meet her anyway, doesn't talk, so that the audience will for a second think, oh, they're doing Cassandra Cain more traditionally, and then, oh no, that was just a gag. And like I hate that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it also goes without saying, but just she's Cassandra Cain in name only. Like, she doesn't look anything like her. She's too small. Just like everything
she's
about
got a different background. She's just she's a street rat, like I said with Billy Batson.
Yeah.
She doesn't have like the ninja background.
Yeah, she's like Selena Kyle's friend from Year One or something.
Oh, Holly.
Yeah.
Sure.
She's got more in common with that character than with Cassandra Cain. Oh, Dagensphere just said the same thing I said. Why not just do Gotham City Sirens? Exactly. Obsidian Library Archives, do you know about Black Canary's adopted daughter, Sin, from the comics? It's weird. There's an Asian kid in a Birds of Prey movie, and it's not her. I completely agree. And she's actually the focal point for the first story arc of the Birds of Prey series that's going right now, which is already up to issue, like, 22. I just started it. And, yeah, she's kidnapped, and they're trying to rescue her.
Oh, okay, cool.
He's not funny.
I like Cross, and it sucks because I love Ewan McGregor.
No, I do too, but
when he was cast, I was like, oh, that's cool.
All of this has fallen short. I know we're talking over it, but like, it's fallen short the same way it did for me the first time. Like,
well,
I just keep looking at this going,
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is.
I'm sorry, I don't get it.
Huntress.
Like, it ain't for me. I guess. Like, I just don't get it. I'm sorry, Awesome. What was in?
No, I was just saying. And then you have Mary Elizabeth Winstead, who's both his real life wife and Huntress in this movie, and she's amazing
Yeah.
for the 3 minutes of screen time she gets.
Oh, I remember that being the one thing I was really impressed with, and then I was like, why couldn't she be in more of the movie? John Kelling would have worked better if she was Stephanie Brown. Yeah, I guess. Ryder, this is like Gotham meets Suicide Squad. I totally agree with that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Harlequin did it.
I'm glad they keep mentioning that he's Victor Zsasz because I keep forgetting that that's who this character is supposed to be.
How do you look at this man and not immediately think Victor Zsasz? He's got scars all over his body for everyone that he's killed.
Well, I didn't
He's
notice
a
the scars
vicious,
until
insane
just
psychopath.
now.
He's Black Mask's boyfriend / enforcer. Everything
I
about
forgot-
him is
I forgot they did
Victor
that.
Zsasz.
Here comes Cassandra Cain, who's a pickpocket for some reason. Captain
Why are we playing
Coon...
Chipette's music over this?
Captain Coon, $5 super chat. Thanks, man. I saw the tweet of the script title page and thought it was a joke because nobody would give a title that long to one of these after BVS rivaled GMK. What is GMK?
Godzilla, Mothra, King
there you
Ghidorah,
go.
Giant Monsters All Out Attack.
I get that you're trying to get it into a super chat, but I'm glad I have Austin here. I would never have gotten that acronym.
Oh yeah, I'm here. He
It
probably
would have
knew
taken
that.
all day.
Oh, he also
Oh, then he
explained
spelled it
a
out.
second later
Okay,
in
thanks,
the chat.
Captain Coon. Really appreciate that.
But I'm here anyways. I know what that means.
I need this music to stop.
Oh, we missed a super chat here. Dan Schneider,
Oh, thanks,
$5. He says, "What I heard was photos of Black Mask with his gay lover. The mafia is really anti-gay, so he'd be dead. He'd be a dead man. They cut it to avoid appearing homophobic. Possibly, like I said, I know they've like denied it, and you can never know with stuff
Yeah.
like that. But
Well, and again, I don't want to get too deep into the, social political stuff, but I can't help but, and I had this in the theater, I couldn't help but look at this movie and feel like it's the kind of thing that is trying really hard to look like real out there and like non-PC, but it just, something about it feels like it's avoiding things. I don't know if that's fair.
she made a Pirates joke too. And it's the same Rotten Tomato score as the first one. Screw you, Birds of Prey.
I guess what I'm saying is it feels like it's trying really hard to be offensive, but like I'm not believing it in its outrageousness. This is a hard point to articulate, but this is how I felt about it.
This diamond is my things. Effing F. Haha. Woo. Look, why is this our main villain? Why is this Black Mask?
Nicholas Bodo, so do you think this movie doesn't know how edgy it wants to be? I think it either thinks it's edgier than it is, or is trying to dupe me into thinking it's edgier than it is. And simultaneously, I just don't like a lot of the vulgar stuff. Like, it's happy to go to super vulgar places. I don't know. This is just a difficult point for me to articulate.
No, for sure. I mean, like, with Black Mask as an example of that, like, I feel like he's just kind of a stereotype.
Yeah.
He's flamboyant, and it's funny.
Yeah, and I don't know what it's getting at. So
Because I think you can do like the flamboyant thing and make him scary at the same time. But it's just kind of there just to be funny.
yeah, like it's going like look, there are no rules, and we're pushing envelopes, and we can do any like insane crazy thing. And like with the sandwich thing at the beginning that you keep complaining about, it's just kind of screaming like, look how nuts this is. And
Okay.
something
You're
I'm
talking
not
like
believing about all
the
that.
pandering thing. It's definitely pandering when it goes grievances against me for Black Mask, and we've done it for all of these
I
people.
missed it.
And
What did it say?
it throws out like a ton of things. Like that's the joke, is he's got a ton. But one of them is I have a vagina, and another one is I voted for Bernie. Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I forgot about that stuff.
And I get like it's just trying to be funny, but
Is it just trying to be funny, or is it trying to be funny to a particular group? And like that's when
yeah.
it starts. I don't know how to do this without getting into political things I don't want to get into. Like,
hmm I mean, I'll just say
this is not fun.
I'm pretty sure Harley Quinn is not allowed to vote, nor probably would vote.
It's a good point.
It's also especially funny that her next appearance, she like starts to date a foreign leader under the idea that she represents anti-American fervor.
Oh yeah, the Suicide Squad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Chubax lover $2 super chat. Harley's a criminal. How the hell can she vote? Austin just said
Yeah, I guess she can vote illegally, but like, would she? I don't really see the Joker. Her
why
being
would
like,
she
"Ooh, who are we gonna
care?
vote for?"
Yeah. When you're breaking all the rules anyway, why do you care that much about who's making them? That's true. I agree. It's a problem when I'm relating too much to this horrible villain.
I was about to say,
I'm finding
I
her as
finally
irritating
relate to
as
a
he is.
character.
And like, do you think they're trying too hard in how just horribly awful they're making him? Where it's like, you know, look how misogynist he is. Look how like, what word am I looking for? This is also distracting and hard to talk over.
Well,
Oh my god!
Now she's
Whoa!
Marilyn Monroe.
Now it's the Joker 2 musical.
What are we doing?
I don't know.
Now he kind
like,
of has a black mask, but a
the
different
sadism.
kind.
Hey, how did he get to this place? Why is he like this?
I don't. One in his office scene, he's got like statues of people, and you could have done something really cool and creepy with that.
Dan Schneider, $2 super chat. Black Mask is anti-Bernie. What? Why would he care? We're in this place now. This is what we're talking about. Yeah, I don't understand that. RJ Godzilla. It's
scene.
Madonna. Yeah, but why? Like, that's just my whole question with this whole movie, I guess.
Nicholas Bodo mentions that a lot of anime and manga uses like menacing and flamboyant villains. Disney does it quite a bit. Like Scar has that Like,
Hmm.
you absolutely can make that work.
Yeah, no, of
I just wouldn't have
course.
done it to entirely like make him funny.
Yeah, like I don't feel like I don't know. I was gonna say I don't feel like I totally get that guy, and like you can also have just a sadistic, like horrible villain that I buy is that way and don't fully know everything about his background and how he got there. But
Mhm.
all I'm seeing is Ewan McGregor trying to do this juxtaposition of like I'm happy and jovial and I'm uh killing all these people and I'm just mean and horrible. Like I don't feel like I'm seeing a
He's kind of
character. I just feel like I'm seeing Ewan McGregor like messing around on set.
he's kind of doing two things too. Like when he's supposed to be threatening, he does kind of like a darker voice, and then when
Yeah,
he's on his own, he's like really kind of hamming it up with the flamboyant thing.
it doesn't feel like a
I
consistent
was It's not really
take. Like,
working.
yeah, you can see some of what they think they're doing, I guess. But yeah, the only people I like in this movie are never here.
Like if you don't know anything about this stuff, it's like, why is this arrow person there? Like, why do we sometimes have her show up? What's the point of that?
I think you just made me. I think you just hit the nail on the head, Austin, for for why I had such a hard time with this. It's
Mhm.
it's violating my first big rule of narrative, which is nobody cares about your story.
Mhm.
Like it's not convincing me to be invested from the beginning, much less this far in. It's like the only reason I'm supposed to care about this is because I've seen Harley Quinn in the previous movie, or I care about the comic source material. Like what is supposed to be grabbing
Yeah.
me and dragging me through this narrative?
Well, in about 5 minutes, we're
Now, to
going
be
to be
fair,
halfway
Suicide
through
Squad
this
has exactly
movie.
that same problem for different
Mhm.
reasons. But sorry, go ahead.
No, I just said, and in about 5 minutes, we're going to be halfway through this movie, like exactly. It's
Yeah, so much of
kind
this has just been so what about that, which is interesting because we complain about that with BVS too, like
mhm.
with Snyder's, and I guess with Man of Steel some also, but just the really apt point that you made about symbolism and stuff, where it's like he'll have this kind of cute idea, and then we'll go, okay, but what about that? I'm having that with this
Yeah.
with just story and plot in like
Well, and it's having some of what I had
scene
with Aquaman, where I'm
ideas.
like, we're like halfway into this movie, and I feel like the plot's just getting started.
Yeah, like that's my review. It's like, so what about that?
Tyler says, no, this Cassandra cannot fight well.
No, and she's not gonna be about hand to hand or anything. I don't think. I think she just runs away, right?
Hmm. No, she's just like the character for Harley to protect.
Oh, look, she got her iconic baseball bat back because that's her iconic weapon in these, Austin.
Yeah. Did
I,
she ever use a
I
hammer?
realize she has a bat in other stuff. There's a nod to it in Suicide Squad.
Oh, that's right.
Doesn't she open a box and there it is, and then she doesn't actually take it with her or something?
That what? Sorry.
Doesn't in Suicide Squad doesn't she open a box and there it is, but then she doesn't take it with her?
Oh, yes, because it's also where we have her suit. And here's the Popeye scene. She's gonna snort this coke, and now she's
Oh,
powerful.
is that what's okay? So I have a trivia question for you, Austin.
Yeah.
What other superhero movie has a fight sequence to this song?
I don't know. First of all, this is not a great cover, but what other superhero film has A fight to this song.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing's coming to me. I don't know. What is it?
TMNT does it.
Oh, okay. I haven't seen that in so long.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have remembered that.
I wouldn't expect anybody to know that, but yeah. The first big scene where they're fighting those demon creatures in like a restaurant or a kitchen or something. Writer, she's not female Deadpool because Deadpool is not allowed to use coke. Yeah, it's weird because they're
He
even
does
going
coke
to
in the first two movies.
they're even going to yeah. He just can't do it later.
They even do a similar thing in two, which is this is after it, where he like puts
That's
coke on his
true.
face and he like explodes into his face. But anyway, I guess it wasn't in an action scene.
I don't know what it is with this. I'm rolling my eyes at stuff like that, and with Deadpool, I just kind of accept it, even if I don't think it's like laugh out loud funny. Is it because I'm just not with her? And is the idea
Yeah.
with her supposed to be all of this is cathartic, and she almost like gets away with the horrible thing she does because she's a victim, and the Joker made her like this, and so we're supposed to be able to at least like have some fun with her in she can't help but be the way she is. Like is that the idea? Is that what's endearing about this character?
I guess you could do it in like a black comedy way, but that's not what they're doing.
Because the Suicide Squad's spin on that is she's almost a little innocent about it.
Hmm.
Like I think that's the idea there, and I kind of buy it there more. I even buy it more in the first Suicide Squad, as bad as that is.
Hmm. Yeah, no, for sure. Okay, great says that there's also a Black Betty fight in The Losers.
Oh, is that right? I guess that
Yeah,
would
and I
also
haven't seen
count.
that in a
That
long time. Yes, that would
now,
count too.
to be fair, that's a comic book movie before it's a superhero movie. Like I would not call that
For
a
sure.
superhero movie, but
But I do think it is on our list though.
okay, all right.
I remember that there was a fight scene set to Don't Stop Believing. I didn't remember that one.
And that I've never seen, so I would not have known that that was an answer to my trivia question.
Yeah. No, of course. But now you have another trivia question.
Nicholas Bodo
An
speaking.
expanded one.
Nicholas Bodo speaking of misogynistic villains, would Kilgrave count as flamboyant? I don't know that he's flamboyant.
I was thinking of Kilgrave a little bit, not so much in the like he's gay or anything,
Yeah.
but
I think he's more like charismatic
David-
before he's flamboyant.
well, I think David Tennant just kind of in general has that air about him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's more just like David Tennant kind of brings that into it.
And he's of course menacing through and through, like every scene he's in.
Yes. Yeah.
This
No,
Black
he's wonderful.
Mask, I'm only theoretically scared of, and I kind of wish. I don't know if you'll agree with this, but I actually think the take they're doing with him would work better if they actually went back and looked at Under the Red Hood and did the kind of humor with him that they did in that. Because I think that would fit this.
Yeah, probably.
You know, where he's really sarcastic and he's just screaming at everybody and he's like constantly punching out his own thugs and.
No, because I was thinking about that, but I was at the same time I'm like, but he's also not the main villain. But I mean, that would at least be better.
I'm not sure why you can't do that for your main villain.
Hmm?
Nicholas Bodo,
See,
that
look-
Black Mask is hilarious. Yeah, I think so too. I really like that whole thing.
Yeah, he is funny in that. But look, Cassandra has a lot of skills.
Yeah, my favorite thing about Cassandra Cain was always that she can steal things without people noticing.
And she had her iconic arm cast.
Right. I want my Cassandra Cain to basically just be good at like sleight of hand magic. Also, nothing against this actress. I just don't think this performance is great. Like, even if I didn't know who this character was.
Hmm. Well, they went to the Fire Fist part of Deadpool.
Oh
Don't
my
do
god.
that.
You're so right. You're so right! The Fire Fist.
Don't do that.
Nicholas Bodo, maybe you could have had him be a combo of Black Mask from that movie, my favorite take on Black Mask and Absolute Batman. Well, yeah, but that's after this, so. Or J Godzilla, because Andrew Kane has lots of skills like talking. You know, and even now in the comics, like, obviously she talks now and she has for a lot of years, but they make her really monosyllabic, which just makes her almost more of a badass.
Hmm.
Because she talks in, like, real clipped sentences. They're complete sentences, but she's real economical. And I love that take
Why
on
is
her. She gets kind of snarky with it, and it's fun.
why were like half of Harley's grocery Peeps? Why would anyone buy Peeps? They're gross.
See, this is the kind of gag, Austin, that makes me feel like this movie doesn't have the edge it's purporting to have. Where it's like we meet this guy, and it's like Grievous Nun, and they put the halo over him, and it's like this man is perfect, and I'm like, what is the joke here? You know, like we're just I don't know. I don't know what to say about this stuff.
Well, it's funny because it's a running joke. Jokes are always funny when they're running.
Oh, okay.
Look, she's got a beaver with a tutu cap. I don't think you understand how clever this movie is.
I don't understand anything about this movie. I call me completely dense. This whole thing just is over my head. And I'm saying that because I just don't find very much of this at all entertaining. I do like that she's got her hyenas, I guess.
It's a shame they don't really get to do anything. But it's cool that it's here.
Dagon Spirit, Cassandra Cain has nothing to do with Harley that I know of, so why is she her sidekick? She's in a Birds of Prey movie but doesn't join them at the end. What's the point? Because they're just grabbing some major and minor female characters. Like, it's Birds of Prey, so they need chicks from the Batman universe.
There's also that shot too when they walked in, where it was like little Harley, where she was like raised by nuns. I want to know about that. It's a weird. That's a weird detail to just drop in a background picture.
Okay, yeah, but no drawings or pictures we've seen of the Joker look anything like the Joker in this universe.
Yeah, where's the damaged?
Nobody ever writes that. Is anybody else surprised that Harley Quinn doesn't have a neon sign in this apartment that says hello there?
Yeah, she's got this old time TV because she's quirky. Ah, man, I wish I was watching old Looney Tunes now.
We gotta focus, Austin. We could dream about a lot of other things we could be watching right now.
Okay, and here's Huntress.
Yay! The character the movie should be about, because it's called Birds of Prey, and Huntress is usually one of, if not your main protagonist in a Birds of Prey story. It goes without saying, but it's also just weird to have a thing called Birds of Prey that, like, Oracle or Barbara Gordon have in any kind is not even mentioned like at all.
Hmm.
But again, like maybe I should even go to those places because obviously this is just made to be a Harley Quinn movie. And I'm going round and round with this, but then why even have all the supporting cast? Like so much of the supporting cast. Why do they think they need that title to sell it? Like just make a movie called Harley Quinn. And then yeah, you could have like a couple of other female Batman characters as supporting cast. Like she's gonna need characters to play with, of course.
Hmm.
But I'll never understand why this is a Birds of Prey movie. My guess is there's like a couple of pitches or a couple of screenplays they end up sandwiching together. That's the only thing I can figure. Or not even screenplays, because we know this director wrote this from the ground up.
Hmm. Well, now we're at the second Huntress origin. A good example of the writing
Yeah, is that supposed to be a
mocap.
joke that we keep going back to this and seeing it again? Is that funny for some reason? Austin, I love
No,
that was the best shrug ever.
no, that's exactly what I was going to say. A good example of the jokes in this movie, Cap. When we introduced that old man earlier, the grievance nun guy, Harley was like, "Get number 32 on the menu. Get it with like extra chili pepper. Like you want it hot." And then a scene later, Huntress walks in and asks for the number 32 mild.
Oh.
Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I'm laughing my ass off. Uh Writer says Margot Robbie really wanted to do a girl group. Then do it from the start.
Hmm.
Another way you could have handled this is there's already a pre-established group that nobody knows about because they're so street level and like off everybody's radar called Birds of Prey. Remember, the Birds of Prey are basically a like urban spy operation. And so there is no good reason that they couldn't have been already established, whether Oracle put them together or not. And then Harley Quinn stumbles upon them, and they start off as Harley Quinn's antagonists, and then she gets roped up in the fold if you have to have that. But like it could have been, and with this title, I initially thought maybe this is even what they were gonna do. It could have been it's a Birds of Prey movie first, and then Harley Quinn is kind of the villain.
Hmm.
Even
Yeah.
if you wanted her to be the eyes in, where like it's a villain movie and they're the hero she fights, you could have done that.
Hmm. No.
And that's why
Yeah.
I can't
I
help
mean,
but feel like the endearing thing is supposed to be like this, you know, girl boss, girl power thing of like all these characters are going to come together to make this great unit at the end. And like, why would you do that around Harley Quinn?
actually, it should have been that Gotham City
Just
Sirens
yeah,
movie
Gotham
that I
City Sirens.
said,
Just let her be the bad guy,
or that,
or make them or make Gotham City Sirens and they're all bad guys and they're doing bad things together. That's
because it's what they do.
It's not really what they because it's what they do. Yeah, I never realized how bad that line was until we did that movie this week. Like I never really thought about that. It's like we're bad guys. It's what we do. I'm like that's not even a sentence. Like that's well, it is, but like that sentence doesn't even follow. It's what we do. What be bad guys? Like it's such an awkward. We're bad guys. It's what we do. We be bad guys.
No, it's a weird line, and the way she says it is also weird. Where she's like, "We're bad guys. It's what we do."
RJ gives a little weight. We can't have Harley be a villain. She's our cash cow. Yeah, but you can though.
Oh, well, Deadpool's not a bad guy though, Cap.
This is making me
This is another
uncomfortable.
example like that where I was like, "Is it totally weird that we're now cutting to Harley like almost being molested?
Yeah.
Like we're really doing this in the movie where like almost every line of dialogue is just haha that's quirky."
Yeah, this I am in that place where I'm like this can't decide how serious it's taking itself. And again, when Deadpool stops and gets dead serious like this, with that first movie anyway, it doesn't seem out of place. Like it fits it, and it doesn't even do it that much. But like in that flashback with the Weapon X stuff, when that everything stops and that guy's like, "I'm gonna torture you just because it's fun." Like I'm not taken out where I'm going. This shouldn't be in this funny movie. Like that's helping give the guy some humanity and credibility. That's doing none
Yeah,
of
for
that.
sure.
Tyler, what is happening in this scene? I don't have the sound on, so I'm genuinely baffled. I mean, it's really just Black Mask is horrible some more. He at least his performance was at least more menacing in that scene. They would have never done this, but you know the other way they could have handled this, Austin? It's a
What's
Birds of
that?
Prey movie, and Harley Quinn's narrating all of it, and you never see her until like the third act, where it's like, I met all these friends and they told me this whole story, so I'm going to tell you the story that they told me, and then it's all like unreliable narrator. And then you get to the third
Mhm.
act where she finally comes into the fold and she's like, "Hey, I'm in this now." Could have done that. That might have been fun.
Or just have Arnold do the commentary over it, and he's moving, and he's just like, you see, Harley's very sad in this scene because she's just been dumped.
That's when you know your movie's not working. Is that Austin's only fix is Schwarzenegger comes in and does the commentary. Like that seems
Exactly.
like that is Austin's Hail Mary play. We
Exactly.
fix it with an Arnold Schwarzenegger commentary. Dan
Look,
Stan, this is
his
such a
grievance
total
is he has
whiplash.
no penis.
Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but like this kind of, why did she name her hyena Bruce?
Because that's funny, because we know that she fights Batman, and the Batman is Bruce Wayne, but she doesn't know that.
I don't think that's comic book.
I don't think
I
so,
don't
but I
know
could be
that for
wrong.
sure. I don't remember the names of Harlequins and hyenas.
Well, people said that that beaver thing that I mentioned was a comic book thing.
Okay.
I don't know. Yes, Robert, this film would be better if it included Joker, the condom king of crime.
Oh, no! Oh, Bud and Lou. That's right. Well, their names are
Oh, okay.
sometimes changed. Bud and Lou is the most established and recognized name for them in the DC Comics universe. Well, and I think that's maybe what they are in animated series, but I'm not sure.
I guess it's kind of cool then in the Suicide Squad, the song over her like big action sequences, Louis Prima. But I don't think it's like in any way intentional. Like as a reference to her hyena.
Dagon Spear, I think at
That's
least
cool.
in the trailer she says she names him after the hunky Wayne guy. Guess she has the hots for Bruce. Okay.
Robert, she only has one hyena because they didn't have the money to put the hyenas in the film. It's there for 30
Yeah.
seconds.
I didn't even remember they only had the one.
Mhm. Yeah, now it's dead, so it's not going to come back.
Is it weird that the Chinese place has her diamonds outside, like on the wall? Like it's screaming to everyone, "This is where Harley Quinn's hideout is." Like that's weird.
Uh, she put she put that there because she's quirky, cat.
Or is it that dumb movie thing of that's where she got the idea? Like that's the origin of the Harley Quinn diamonds on her Harley Quinn suit? I'm kidding.
Thank you for explaining.
I just wanted
I'm
people to know
used
I
to a
wasn't
better,
serious about
like
that.
a smarter crafted joke than that, Cap. Like a beaver with a tutu.
It's not going to be hard to be more clever than me right now. Well, I mean, I guess it's cool that Amusement Mile is here. They're at least doing some Gotham stuff.
Yeah, well, that's where the climax I think is going to be. 'Cause we only have about half an hour left.
Yeah. And now we have the lyrical version of "Hit Me with Your Best Shot."
Oh my god, I was not paying close enough attention to this. I forgot that it does my most hated trope of the slow sad version of
Of a
a
popular song.
song. Yeah. Mm.
You would hate my new favorite show then, Paradise, because it does it at the end of every episode.
Oh no.
In a real deliberate way that's always thematically relevant, but you'd probably still hate it just because you don't like that trope. By the way, I disliked this movie so much in the theater that when I bought it, this one I also only got on DVD, and I have a scrunched box even. Like, this box is real messed up, and I think I bought it this way. I don't even think I did this to it. I think I went, that is the appropriate box for me to purchase.
See, I imagine you walked into the store and you were like, and grabbed it like real hard.
No, I bought this friggin' thing used, and it was just already scrunched. And I paid $10 for it. Let's see if the disc is all scratched up. No, that looks like it'd probably play.
You grab a rock and just start scraping it on it.
Sionis is pissed. Look at him go. What the?
He's gonna cry.
What is happening?
Why is this edited like the trailer?
I don't know.
See, look, he's putting the mask on, Cat.
I don't know. This isn't earning any of the epicness of this. This set is cool looking.
Oh, see, I was gonna say this looks like rough CGI.
Well, I shouldn't say set, but like, okay, I like the design of it. I don't know how real it looks.
Sure.
Look,
Like it
I'm
just says
giving
booby
it
on
what
the
I
side
can
of that.
give it. I'm 30 minutes from the end of this, and I still don't understand why I'm watching it.
On the side of this building, it just said booby because that's funny.
Hilarious.
It is.
Yeah, it's the vulgarity without anything else to latch onto. I think is the reason that stuff bothers me in a way here it doesn't in Deadpool.
I think this is the sequence where the birds of prey are now going to meet each other.
Okay. We haven't,
But they're all gonna fight each other.
we haven't read Patreon comments yet, but I needed to pay more attention to this one because I just don't know it. So we'll read those
Yeah.
at the credits, I think.
Okay. No worries.
Is that cool?
Mm-hmm.
She's duct taped to a toilet because toilets are always funny.
I mean, that is true. That and duct tape is always funny. So if you duct tape, she got punched in the boobie. That and being duct taped to a toilet is always fun.
Nobody needed that to pay off. Like, she brought back the sandwich thing.
I hate this movie.
Yeah. And I'm not trying to lay this on thick for folks that like this, but Austin, are you having what I am? Where this is, I'm having a tougher time getting through this, even the Suicide Squad, and like it's in some ways certainly a lot more competent than that. But I don't know what it is. It's It's hard for me to look at. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And again,
Oh, now we're just an Iron
there's
Man.
taste stuff and sensibilities, certainly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, he is
Yeah, we
Jazz.
had.
I'm glad he took part of his shirt off because I needed him to remind me again that that's who he's supposed to be.
See, I told you. You see this man, and you're like, "That is Victor Zsasz."
Yes, Nicholas Bodo, that was a spirit joke. His toilets are always funny. Oh, look, it's Worf's favorite beverage, prune juice.
Mm. Yeah, because she ate that diamond that they need.
Right. Thanks for explaining this really complex MacGuffin plot.
You're welcome.
Super really says, I know this is the least of this movie's problems, but the costume design is awful.
Yes. Very much so.
So we've now had Victor Zsasz in 2 live-action movies. And
Oh, that's true. 'Cause
and
I always
Gotham.
forget he's in Begin.
Mm-hmm. That's the only place where he reminds me of that comic character.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's just kind of there, like.
Yeah, which is cool. That like it feels like the world is just populated with people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you get to fight him in the game.
Oh yeah, he's really creepy in them when he's in like the Arkham hallway.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Oh, well, Victor Zsasz is about to die.
Yeah, I don't understand why we're completely reinventing certain characters and then others are more or less what they are in the comics. I think that's the other reason I was annoyed about Cassandra Cain, where it's like, I guess they like Huntress and don't care about Cassandra Cain. Because Huntress is, like, really well cast for that character, and she's got a crossbow, and she's got pretty much the same backstory.
And we know that because we get to see it more. I don't like her costume is just like a rain, though. That's a little.
Well, it's weird the ways in which this is real comic booky and the ways in which it's like a CW show.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of has that in common with Gotham also.
Sure, yeah.
Because, like, this set, like, going to Amusement Mile and all of that, and that, like, multicolored explosion at Axis at Ace Chemicals at the beginning and all of that, like, that all feels right out of a Batman comic. But then we can't have costumes, except for Harley Quinn's. And she doesn't wear it that much. Like, I don't know why that is. It's almost like the director just wanted to make a particular kind of movie and was able to do that through a Birds of Prey movie. And she's got enough style to do some comic booky things. It's sort of like a Thor Ragnarok situation in that way.
That's also
I actually think she's really
running
funny
joke.
in this scene. That's one bit I do think is really funny, where she's trying to get her superhero name out, and everyone knows who she is, and she's like, "Stop outing my identity."
And now we're seeing her origin again.
That's amazing.
Like, and it's every time she shows up in the movie, we go, "Oh, and here's origin."
Why are we doing that? I think that's the other thing that I'm really offended by in this is that she's so good, you just want it to be about her.
Mm-hmm. No, and I love Mary Elizabeth Winstead. She's a great actress.
Why can't it
She's
just
a really
be,
good choice for Huntress.
Why can't it just be her movie?
Why is she the one that gets the least amount to do?
It could have just been like Huntress and Black Canary versus Harley Quinn. And you could have even still done the Black Mask thing and been like, well, here's like the real threat. And then Harley Quinn goes, I'm going to be helpful, you guys. And they're going to be like, we don't need your help. And she, no, I'm going to be helpful. And then she tries to be helpful.
He's the Doomsday of this Versus movie.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's right. They just kind of make her the MacGuffin because she's got the diamond, right?
Yeah, because this whole movie's they're after a diamond that's like that big.
And so I guess we're gonna have to become the Boys of Prey.
Robert says the good news is that we have to do this again on Superhero Rewind.
Yeah, I have to actually prep for it and know what's coming and try to dissect the story and put a complete sentence together in a way I have not accomplished.
That'll be in like 80 years. We'll do this one.
It'll be the last one.
I mean, we could set it up so it will always just be the last superhero movie we cover.
I'm being truthful when I say I was kind of hoping I would sit down and go, what was I talking about 6 years ago? This is fine. Or 5 years ago. Because I really hoped that part of it was just sitting next to my wife who has even less vulgar sensibilities than I do. And like just the energy, like the negative energy oozing out of her. And that I couldn't enjoy this sitting next to her. But I'm looking at this again, Austin. I can't enjoy it sitting next to you.
Maybe if you watch it alone, you'll be like, now I get it. Now I want an egg sandwich.
And you like all kinds of snutty things. So...
Oh, yeah. I'm a hardcore love snut. But this just ain't doing it, Chief.
Robert Cap is going to end the channel with a Birds of Prey rewind. Beautiful. This looks like a Gotham mask. And I think they did Black Mask. I don't remember what theirs looked like.
At least they all have masks now.
Candotor, to be fair, I do want an egg sandwich. After this, I don't know if I would ever eat one of those again. Stop talking. Yeah,
but look, she's like, look, it'll push up your boobs because boobs are funny. Oh, she's got her hammer though.
Sorry, she is really funny.
She's also correct to be mad at somebody calling her crossbow a bow and arrow.
It's not a happy bow and arrow. And then she
only does the.
And then she says, I'm not 12, which really makes me wish Green Arrow was in this movie, so she could be like, Green Arrow is 12.
Well, that's the only reason that...
He's such a child.
It's Black Canary that says that, right?
Like, the slide's kind of fun. We could have done a lot more with this set here, right? Like... I mean, maybe we're going to do a bunch more with it here.
Well, I think we're, going into just another part of this amusement park.
But with your have the whole thing happen over one night idea, it'd be really cool if you did, like, a whole Carnival Funhouse scenario where, like, a lot of the movie takes place in that setting. And so you have this whole kind of Joker place without the Joker. And so he's, like, haunting her everywhere she goes, even though she's finally ridded herself of him. Like, there's a whole thing you could have done with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, we're not here because of the Joker, even though Amusement Mile is, at least in Arkham, like a Joker thing. And so it's a little bit actually kind of convenient that we're here and that this ends up being what we're doing with Sionis. Because you could have contrived a way to get here because it's like an old Joker lair. Oh, and now we're doing an actual heart song.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And it's just the one everyone knows.
We did a lyrical version of the other one everybody knows. RJ Godzilla Cap, stop coming up with good/better ideas. I don't know what else to do right now.
With which one, sorry? With which heart song?
I can't remember. That lyrical song we were making fun of. I thought that was a heart song. I can't even remember right now what it even was. What was it?
No, it was Hit Me With Your Best Shot.
Oh, yeah. I'm sorry, that's not hard. So they're going
It's okay.
Just like all the big like 70s and 80s female groups.
I don't think there's any Blondie, though. There should be some Blondie.
Now we're jumping over some tongues. This is an inventive set.
Yeah, this is at least weird.
I gotta give it that. I mean, this is kind of crazy. Like, who the hell came up with this? It's weird.
This is a place for children. It's a weird area.
Yeah, like I know carnivals and funhouses are weird. Women. This is just made by perverts. There's no way around it. Like,
no, genuinely, I think this place was made by Bruce Timm and Paul Dini. Like, look at all the naked on in the background. Oh, true, RJ Godzilla. We do need I Love Rock and Roll.
So it's rare for me to say this, but looking at this scene, Austin, and thinking about some of the choreography from earlier, this movie should have been wall-to-wall action with very little attempt at plot and characterization, and it would have been infinitely more fun to watch.
Instead of looking at Deadpool, you're looking at John Wick.
Sure.
Yeah. I can agree with that.
Well, just because that's the only stuff that's working.
Mm-hmm. Well, and if the rumor is true that they're making a Korean revenge film Huntress movie, we'll basically get that with Huntress.
I'm sorry, say that again?
I said if the rumor is true that we're getting a Korean revenge film of Huntress, we'll at least get that.
Well, and what I hope is that eventually we can get to a Birds of Prey movie.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and I'm sure we'll do that at some point.
Like you do a Huntress
Same
movie,
with...
and then, or like a Black Canary movie. Maybe you have a Huntress movie or a movie with her just in it. Or you could introduce her in a Birds of Prey movie where like you could have Barbara Gordon in another movie. Mm-hmm. And then introduce one of those characters in the Birds of Prey movie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know Gunn's talked about Cassandra Cain being his favorite Batgirl, so I'm sure we will get her at some point.
Yeah.
And done faithfully.
And I mean, she can carry a movie, but it would be really easy to build some kind of Batman thing around her also.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I guess I should be less... like upset with this movie now just because, again, like we've said before, we're resetting, and so it's now finally possible I can get what I would want from this material. But also just I'm having to sit through it, and it has been a little bit intolerable to me. Until this action stuff. Like, all of this is fine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess the nice thing with Suicide Squad, the 2016 film, is that I then later on got a real one.
Yeah.
You're still just waiting for a real Birds of Prey movie.
Well, and like, I guess I got the Birds of Prey TV show, but I mean, it's not great. It's at least actually Birds of Prey. And it had spot-on Oracle casting. I mean, at least we had that. You had the perfect Barbara Gordon in that show.
It's weird we never set this up. Like,
suddenly there's Canary Cry. I didn't know she could do that.
Well, she mentions earlier that she's got a really good voice, but like that's kind of the setup for that.
Okay, so that's the setup payoff.
Why isn't she just doing that earlier?
Yeah, I forgot about that. So was that supposed to be like a double entendre? Because she's singing when Harley Quinn says that, so I didn't put that together. Because I only saw this once, so I forgot about that. But I'm with you. Like, why did she wait to do it now? That's that lead with that next time thing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then she just passed out after doing it, so I guess this Black Canary kind of sucks.
Okay, but that's your explanation, I guess. Is like that's always a Hail Mary play. She's using that the same way that you use Arnold commentaries.
Exactly.
It's the last resort. This is my last resort. Konnor, did she just suddenly have her powers? Yes. You saw that right. Yes. Killer Moth Returns definitely feels like we should start the new DC movie universe with Babs already as Oracle. I think I agree with that. Mm-hmm.
That's what I think too.
And I mean, it sucks because we've never had a big screen Batgirl outside of Batman and Robin, but you can do flashbacks and stuff, and I'm good with that.
Yeah, and because Barbara Gordon's my favorite Bat Family member, and I love her as Batgirl, but I do love her as Oracle more.
Mm-hmm.
But especially like if we're already at Damian as Robin, like I think we can just be at Oracle already.
Yep. Well, and then you've got Joker history, and he's already a real scary threat that's done a bunch of terrible things to Batman.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
And Gordon probably needs lots of therapy. Dagon Spear, how hilarious is it that the CW type of equivalent made a little under 20 years earlier, yet more like Birds of Prey than the modern movie version is? Yeah, and again, when this was announced, I knew it wasn't really going to be Birds of Prey. I kind of hated that they used that title. Because it's funny, like, that's the main title, but that's what feels tacked on, not the Harley Quinn part.
Well, and then to a lesser degree, we're going to get that with Flash in a few days.
You know what the irony is, too? The big bad of that show was Harley Quinn.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that. I don't know of the show.
Yeah, she's the master manipulator, where she's actually, what's the word I'm looking for? Like she's actually a therapist, and uses that as a front. And she's Huntress's therapist. So Huntress is...
Oh, you know what?
Is telling her all this personal information, not realizing that she's the big bad that's actually antagonizing them the whole season. Mm-hmm. And then she has a mind control plot in the last episode. And unusually for a 13-episode show that gets canceled, it actually has a last episode. Which clearly is supposed to lead into a second season, but like they actually have an overarching story that gets wrapped up at the end. Which is nice. They only have 2 comic villains in that. It's her, and you get Clayface in like a Hannibal Lecter role in one episode.
Oh, never mind. He deleted it. But Super Billy did say that.
When that happens.
This movie had reshoots done by Chad Stileski, apparently. Oh, he just put it back in. If that's true, that explains everything.
Oh, so we can't even credit her for what's working in this? Is that what?
That's the John Wick.
Is that what we're saying?
Director too. So
like,
if that's true,
well, that explains everything. Now I really wish that's
he
what
doesn't
this
even
movie
say
was.
Allegedly. He just says that as a thing.
If that's true, that does explain everything.
Yeah, and he does.
This is super
action stuff for the Captain America movies. So
I love it when movies like this are accidentally self-aware, where they have a character in the scene say what I'm thinking.
Once again, Black Mask is very relatable.
Ew. What is the script?
Do you remember how this confrontation ends, Gab?
I don't.
Oh,
Oh no, I'm worried.
you should be.
Like he just exploded.
That's yep.
I'm shocked she didn't kick him in the balls first, but I kind of thought that would
And he's
happen.
gone.
Supervillain ends in a gloriously stupid way. Tyler isn't Lady Shiva in that show. Yes. I wasn't counting that just because she's so reinvented. I wasn't even thinking about it.
Oh, okay.
And she's not Lady Shiva. She's just Shiva, and it's kind of a different character. Like, I'm not saying that that's not why she's called that. Like definitely. But
Why is this movie so obsessed with tacos?
I'll tell you why. Because that's another Deadpool chasing thing. They're thinking
Yep,
chimichangas.
it's the chimichanga. Yep.
And they might even be thinking shawarma a little bit, but definitely the Deadpool thing.
Yeah, no, there you go. Also, to Super Billy's point about this ending in a really stupid way, it ends in a. Oh, I forgot to explain that bit.
Oh.
When we come back to the grenade.
It also is ripping off a Marvel thing, just like Suicide Squad was, where like that movie, at least in advertising, is like heavily trying to be Guardians. This is heavily Deadpool. And then ironically, the Suicide Squad is a good movie that is made by the guy that they were ripping off in the first place. So bizarre.
That has Guardians in it, but also finds its own voice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can't say that he's not deriving that from his own work a little bit, but that's also what he's hired to do.
Exactly. No, exactly, but I do think it at least has some of its own identity. Like, you can tell that it's the same person.
Did they bring him in to make that movie, or did they say pitch something and he said, I want to fix Suicide Squad? Like, I don't even know that.
From what I remember, I think they initially said, like, here's a list of things that you can do, and I think one of them was Superman from the get-go, and he picked Suicide Squad.
Okay.
I'm also not convinced he's ever watched the 2016 movie, because there's an interview from when he did Guardians 2 where he's asked about it, and he's like, yeah, no, I ain't watching that.
He doesn't need to. Super Billy, didn't Mia Sara play Harley Quinn in Birds of Prey? Yes, she did. She came out of retirement to star in Life of Chuck. I might check that out then. I really like her. Yeah, I didn't know she was acting again. That's great.
That breaks my heart. I wanted to see that so bad, and it didn't even last a week in my theater.
I don't even know what that is.
Now I can't watch
I assumed it was a TV show. I don't even know what that is.
No, it's a new movie. It came out last week. It's Mike Flanagan's new movie.
Oh,
it's a Stephen King adaptation.
Those suits are so painful.
That's rough.
Now, I had forgotten that they formed their own team and she's not on it. So like, at least there's that. At least they didn't say like Harley Quinn is now on the superhero team. But again, I'm a broken record. Why couldn't they have just... You got to write a different story, but like, why couldn't we have just had the Birds of Prey in the first place in this team forming movie? Like, why is this a setup film?
Harley's costume now also makes her look like a quirky realtor. And she had...
Or Elton John.
Or Elton John, yeah. When she had business cards that said Harley Quinn, badass mother effer.
Yeah.
She's my apprentice. Oh my god, the egg sandwich, it came back.
Yeah,
I didn't remember that.
And then she's got to wink at us. Still, I
didn't remember it coming back.
Why were we here? Like, so what about any of that? I don't know. RJ Godzilla Cap, this whole movie is painful. This whole movie is painful, except the action climax is kind of fun. And the thing is, I think even with the characters I'm not loving, particularly Cassandra Cain, and again, no shade to that actress. I'm not in love with her performance. I think she gets a little better as it goes. But with the exception of characters I'm not, or despite characters I'm not loving, Austin, I am seeing the potential in some friendship chemistry, like the team dynamic with those characters. If only we were allowed to have it. Like, as soon as they're all fighting together, I'm like, okay, I could kind of see what this movie might have been.
I'm gonna throw out something that's gonna make you angry, Cap.
Oh no.
This movie was written by the writer of Bumblebee and The Flash.
I think I knew that at one point, or at least the
It's like
Bumblebee part. But of course.
a trio of movies you love.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I think I threw up in my mouth a little. I don't think I would survive that trilogy of movies in one day. I don't think I could do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would spontaneously implode. Uh yeah, you guys look forward to us doing this as the final episode of the Superhero Rewind Commentary Project, because that's how long that's gonna take. Brady Atkinson, this movie is just why. It
That is
is.
correct.
I'm not gonna sleep well tonight. All right, Austin, let's read some comments, man.
Let's do it.
Let's listen to some people that will think that I'm a disingenuous ass face because
Because you are.
they like this movie. And again, nothing against anybody. I was trying. Like I wanted to find it within myself.
Mm-hmm. Do
Writer,
you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Oh,
I
okay.
probably have more than you do. Writer, the best part of Birds of Prey is the Harley jailbreak scene. They did it much better here than Suicide Squad. This one has cocaine. Oh, that makes it better? Okay. Bernie is a goat character in DCEU. I love this movie, so I wouldn't change much. I'd have Jared Leto actually in it and maybe cut out Renee Montoya. Wow.
You love this movie that much, and you would cut one of the main characters?
Well, maybe he just thinks she's kind of extraneous. I don't know.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
She's a little whiny, but that's just what she's given to do. I don't think the actress is a bad choice.
No, I don't think she's bad.
I know I've seen her
And-
in stuff. I couldn't tell you right now.
yeah, yeah, Rosie Perez. Yeah, I've seen her in a few things. She's a good actress.
How many do you have?
She could have been in. She could have
sorry.
been in like an actual drama, probably as Renee Montoya.
Oh, sure. Yeah. You don't like a Birds of Prey movie? It's a notion. I think I was also just
okay.
annoyed that something comes out like this with that title, and then that's what people think Birds of Prey is, but then nobody saw it, so it's not like the good name of this property is tarnished.
Yeah, everyone saw Sonic instead.
You
Serial
know
When
what?
Pigs Fly.
I don't like that Sonic movie. Fair enough.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Serial When Pigs Fly. The best scene is the police precinct break-in. The thing that needs to be changed is the weird black mask scene where he wants the girl to undress in the club. It's just way too much, and it's really jarring
Yeah.
since it's not a kids movie, but it's not a full-on adult film either. I mean, it is R-rated.
It is
to be
R-rated.
fair.
It could go to that place if it earned it. It just felt gratuitous. It's like, why? It felt like it was
It's just
trying too hard
totally
to just make
jarring.
him scary.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what kind of just heinous, we'll never believe they did that thing can they do?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. The thing that surprised him, he says the Huntress and Black Canary give decent performances. And then he says, challenge. I challenge Cap to
Uh-oh.
name 10 things he likes about this movie.
10?
10.
We don't have time for that, and I don't think I can do it.
Okay.
Okay, I'll try. So, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but he asked me to try, so I'll try.
Yeah. Well, I was like, if you can't do it, I'll try it.
Okay, maybe between us, I like the explosion at the chemical factory at the beginning.
Okay.
I like Huntress a lot. I like her casting, and I think she's funny. I don't know if that counts as two things. But a lot of the humor didn't play for me, and that's a place where the humor actually played.
If you want to count it for 2, we can count it as 2.
So I'm gonna count that for 2. I guess Black Canary is fine.
Okay.
Like, I don't like her as well as Huntress, but she's good enough, I guess. Okay, I'm struggling. What else? Oh, the big fight at the end's really good.
Okay.
I guess
you're halfway there.
I guess fight choreography
you're
in
living
general,
on a
I
prayer.
can. I guess fight choreography in general, I can give it.
Okay, so we can count that as you like the climax, and then you like the choreography.
The choreography, yeah.
You're at 6.
That's 6. Boy, it's going to be a struggle for the rest of this.
You like that it's shorter than 2 hours?
I don't want to be disingenuous about it. I don't know if I can come to 10.
No, but you can like something for being shorter than like feeling like it has to be stretched out. That's not necessarily a backhanded compliment. It was. But it's not necessarily one.
Wait, she's talking. Did you know that Batman? I don't know what this. Oh, does she like out Batman's secret identity or something? Oh, that was weird.
No.
She okay. That's supposed to be funny, I guess. She said, "Did you know Batman?" And then she just doesn't say anything.
You remember at the end of Shazam when you were like, imagine a fat, greasy, disgusting pig man watching this movie, waiting through the credits, and then he's like, "That's all I have to see."
Yeah.
Imagine that fellow watching this movie in the theater.
Imagine that.
While the grease drips from his lip.
That one kind of pathos moment with her in the bar at the beginning, I like. Okay, I was complaining that it wasn't doing that, and then it did that, so I feel like I have to give it that.
Okay, so 8. Unless you don't want to include the runtime thing.
I don't. The hyena.
Okay, you're at 7.
The hyena is hardly there, but it looks fine. It looks good when it's there.
Okay, 8.
So I said climax. Is it too much of a double beat if I give it set design at the carnival?
No, I think it's something else. 9.
Because I thought that looked really good, and I like the weirdness of it. It does look like perverts made it, but it's weird. Crap. I don't know if I've got one more. Do you have one I didn't say? Can you help me at all? And I'll see if I agree with you. I got to 9.
It's a standalone movie that doesn't sequel bait. Maybe, I don't know.
It does.
I guess it kind of does with the
it
team
absolutely
at the end.
sequel
So I guess
baits.
Yeah. Okay.
Because it goes
Okay.
on.
I was just thinking it doesn't
made
have any
this
after
team now.
credit scenes that set up anything. Okay, fair enough. Never mind.
I really don't know if I can come up with a 10th thing.
Harley used her hammer.
I don't know. Like maybe the animation in the opening, like that was okay.
Well, I was gonna say like Renee Montoya is fine.
Yeah. Okay. Close enough.
Those two things that we just said can be like half of one, and we had 2 halves, so that makes it 10.
Absolutely. Okay, Daniel Davis. Favorite scene? I agree with the police chase scene. I actually think some of the movie's fight sequences in general are pretty colorful, What I changed, this was my big nitpick with the film, and it remains the same when I rewatched it. How about making a movie called Birds of Prey, where the Birds of Prey don't feel like they get sidelined so much because Harley Quinn is so popular? And what surprised me most, Harley having an orgasm over a breakfast sandwich. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it tastes good, but really? Okay, go ahead, Austin.
Just why? Just why?
I don't want to stretch this stream
uh,
out any farther than we have to. We gotta finish this up. Go
Lord,
ahead.
Lord GB, favorite scene, the intro animation. What you would change? Make Black Canary the main character.
Yes.
Um,
Well, I mean, I say
the
make
thing you're
Huntress
most
the main character, but that's fine too.
mhm. The thing you're most surprised by, how good Dinah is. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
Yep. Okay, great. Favorite scene: Black Mass showing off his collection of Black Canary. McGregor is a great actor. I love watching him chew up scenery. Close second, Black Canary's club scene. She's a great singer. And she has a great voice that if she uses it, she passes out. It turns out.
What a lovely boy.
I don't know how she got that power. What he would change the title, and I would change most of the character names. I didn't have an attachment to most of the characters used, but I understand they reinterpreted some pretty big names. Maybe use lesser known characters next time. I will give it this, and I wouldn't count this as one of my 10 good things because this would be like a backhanded compliment. I don't actually agree with that. I think the only character that needs a name change is Cassandra Cain. Everybody else is more or less those characters.
Mhm. Sure.
When you except for Zaz, I guess, but like as far as the actual Birds of Prey characters,
Him and Black
and
Mask,
Black
I guess
Mask.
technically. Also, to answer your question of how did she get that power, from the diaphragm. It's like it's one of
Uh,
the first things you learn when you have to sing. It's breath
that
control.
that was excellent. Thing he was surprised by that I liked it. I'm also surprised by that. I skipped it in the theaters because I heard it was terrible. I watched it years later, and I don't know. Maybe I was just in a good mood when I saw it, but I liked it. I thought the action was well choreographed with fun kinetic energy, and I thought Margot Robbie carried the film well. I'll revoke my geek card now. I mean, that's cool. I wanted that to happen. What else? How many more do you have, Austin?
Two more.
Okay, go ahead.
From Captain Coon. Favorite scene or moment when the credits finished because it was finally over. Things I'd change. Everything. Things that surprised me, how insulting it felt to watch it, even for the pre-release screener I got to attend. Oh, that sucks.
Oh,
You got to see it before it came out, and
that's
like you
rough.
hated it that much. That does suck.
That's really rough. I've never had the few times I've gotten to see things early, I've usually liked them okay. Even if retroactively I didn't. Like I got to see Star Trek Into Darkness like 2 weeks early, and I
Mhm.
don't like that movie now, but I enjoyed it when it came out.
Mhm. Yeah, for sure.
And I got a free
No, I have to
hoodie.
imagine that's a rough experience when you go into something like that and then you end up really hating it.
Yeah, because it's such a cool novelty to get to see it before anybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
Uh,
And then you have to like sit on it like no one else has seen it, and you're like,
you can't even tell them how bad it is. Yeah. Um. So yeah, we've got a polarized audience with this, Austin.
mhm. Do you have another one
Yeah, I've got a couple
or?
more. So
Oh,
Bag is going to have a very similar response to your last one. Best scene, the end credits. What I would change. I wasted my getting greenlit joke on Aquaman. I had blissfully forgotten this movie existed. Else I'd have saved it. Instead, I'll have to say I'd change Warner Brothers from ever acquiring the rights to DC Comics IPs.
scalding.
Biggest surprise, I didn't die of a stroke halfway through. This is my number one worst film I've ever seen. This Mania is the one and only reason I would ever rewatch it. I'm honored by that, but also don't hurt yourself.
Mhm.
Did you say you had one more?
Yeah, well, and also
I have
RJ
two more.
Godzilla in the chat. If I
Yeah.
remember correctly, I think it was him at the beginning that said this is the first time he's ever watched it. He's watching it with us, and he just said he hated this movie.
Yeah.
Super Billy,
Uh-oh.
the thing,
Uh-oh.
the thing that he liked the most, nothing.
Oh, he just
The
doesn't.
thing,
The way the smirk on your face made me think he wrote egg sandwich.
no, that would have been funny. The things I would change, everything.
Everything. Two people have said that.
And what's most surprising about this movie, apart from how terrible it is the fact that the titular birds of prey don't all meet until the film's climax. I know.
Yeah.
It's
It's
ridiculous.
ridiculous.
Redonkulous.
Birds of
And that is my
Prey.
last one.
Okay, I've got a couple more. Sorry, I'm just reading Birds of Prey because Joe Turner wrote Shazam and Birds of Prey, and then I'm exhausted, so I'm just reading what I'm seeing. We all know what movie we're talking about. I'm an idiot. Joe Turner, favorite scene: the police station fight scene is colorful, easy to follow, and well choreographed. It distills all the fun of the movie into a single scene. Um, Also, that the movie ends with exploding a misogynist instead of stopping some kind of existential threat. Main thing you would change: naming the kid Cassandra Cain. They alienated a large swath of the audience for no reason. What surprised you most? Not, I will say, I think a lot of people that are angry about that also dislike the movie for other reasons. I'm not sure how many people are like, the Cassandra Cain thing pissed me off, but overall it was fun. Like I don't know. Maybe there was some of that. I don't know.
I mean, that's kind of what I have, where I'm like, the Cassandra Cain thing sucks. Like, at the end of the day, that's not the big thing that I find bad about it.
No,
But,
same,
like,
same here. That's just so insult to
yeah.
injury to me. And I've played it up over the years just because I'm a Cassandra Cain fan. So I feel like,
Mm.
you know,
Yeah, of course. Of
I owe it
course.
to her to scream about that. But what
Scream
surprised
it from the mountaintop like you're about to fight Drago.
exactly? What surprised you most? How good it was as a see so polar opposite. As a soft sequel to Suicide Squad, and how dark and real they went with Sionis' character. Sionis' character, pardon me. It's basically what Suicide Squad should have been. Wow. Question for Cap: when did you realize Birds of Prey is the second best DCEU film? When I became Bizarro Cap.
Me am love bird of prey.
And then Victor, favorite scene: almost everything between Harley and Cassandra. I think Harley in this movie has tremendous Bugs Bunny energy, and watching Bugs Bunny try to deal with a snotty pickpocket kid is fantastic. I'm not seeing the movie you're seeing, man. I would change the final action sequence. It feels, which is one of the only things I liked about it. Awesome. It feels cheap and uninspired compared to the rest of the film. I would also change the title. This doesn't feel like a Birds of Prey movie at all. We should have saved that moniker for a sequel. I was surprised by how fun, kinetic, and singular this felt. Two people used the word kinetic. After the bleakness of the Snyder films and the slop that is Suicide Squad, this felt like a glass of cold water on a hot day. My question is Cap going to kick me out of the writers group for admitting that I love this movie? No,
Yes.
I just don't understand it. Like, with people that are loving this, I feel like I'm just missing something. And that it's just, you know, taste and sensibilities, and you're bringing something to it I don't have, or there's something in it I'm just not, just goes over my head. I'm just not seeing it.
Uh,
But yes, that was pain
you,
again.
you just need to look at it like it's an egg.
How does one look at a film like an egg sandwich?
Well, look at your DVD and then eat it.
So what?
You totally contemplated biting that box on
I
camera,
did.
didn't you?
I absolutely
I could
did.
see it in your eyes.
Yeah, I considered it. Uh, no, I was gonna say you have somebody like ruin your disc, and then later on you go fight them and you freak out on them for ruining your disc. You know, like she does with the egg sandwich. You're like, you ruined my Birds of Prey DVD.
You snot, you ruined my disc.
Shut up, Robert. Robert says, it is pretty crazy Cap named his daughter after a character from this movie. This is not what happened. Shut up. I named her after the real Cassandra Cain.
Yeah, from this motion picture.
Yeah, I didn't even mention that. I don't know how many of you guys know that one of my daughters is named Cassandra. I have a daughter named Cassandra and a daughter named Selena. I got a Catwoman and a Batgirl. That's wonderful. And then my third daughter is... God, I'm falling asleep. I can't even remember my children's names. No, I'm kidding.
Oh,
no.
no.
No, I'm kidding. So,
Okay.
my third daughter is Autumn, who is not named after anything geeky whatsoever.
Okay, now name 10 things you like about your children.
I'm just falling asleep over here. That's all.
I can't do it.
Chewbacca's Lover, did you see my post on Patreon? Let me refresh.
If you put it in
here.
late, you might just have to refresh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm doing that. Thanks, man. I don't have one for you on this. Just Shazam. I read your Shazam one, but I don't see anything about Birds of Prey. But Konnor Tor said, I'm too late for the Shazam stream, and I've never seen Birds of Prey, just along for the ride. Question, could a more representative Cassandra Cain even work in this movie? Yeah, sure. I mean, it still wouldn't have been a good movie, but you could you throw in a like martial artist raised by an assassin like in the mix with it? Sure. Why not?
Hit Girl was popular.
Yeah, I'm just saying it wouldn't be out of place. I mean, you wouldn't want to make her the MacGuffin of the movie. You'd have to. All you'd have to do is make the girl they called Cassandra Cain in this some other character, and then you'd be tacking on another character, of course, and so you'd be overloading it. But it's already, that enough, I guess. And actually, to somebody's point earlier, yeah, you probably would just make the character they called Cassandra Cain Sin. Just make her that.
Sure, yeah. Chewbacca's Lover says that he wrote one. He's sure of it.
It's not here. I'm looking through it. You just sent one for Aquaman. I don't have the rest of it.
For Shazam.
Or for Shazam. Sorry, I was looking at another post for a second that said Aquaman. But
No,
anyway.
it's all good.
Oh, I'm sorry. He just wrote such a short thing. Birds of Prey looked awful from the trailer. I knew it looked like diet female Deadpool from the beginning. I feel vindicated by the response it got. Yeah, I'm sorry. It was so short I didn't even realize he wrote something about Birds of Prey.
Yeah, it's all good.
Anyway. Sorry about that. Okay. It's time to go to bed. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. I'm glad that we get a break after this one. Monday we'll be back at around 9 again, I think. 9 Central for the next two. And Austin, what are the next two, man? Or sorry, the next one.
The next one is Wonder Woman 1984.
Well, at least we don't have to do that with anything else. But that movie's freaking long.
That movie is really long.
I am really glad we get a break in between with that. But yeah, so we're
gonna next week's really gonna suck because it's just gonna all be long.
They're all gonna be long, yeah. So then Tuesday we do the Snyder Cut, and then it's doubles the rest of the week again, and the Snyder Cut might as well be a double.
Wednesday will be the best night of DCEU Mania though, because we got Black Adam.
Yeah, Wednesday is the Suicide Squad and Black Adam, so we get the best of these, and then, I mean, so many of these are baffling, I can't even say the most baffling, but I guess the baffling thing about that is that they thought that was going to work, and they let The Rock come in and act like he was going to, like, change the hierarchy of or whatever.
It's the best of them and the funniest bad one,
Is
so
it
it'll be fun.
okay?
We'll get
You're
there.
you're
We'll get
you're
there.
you're enjoying that on a level that I was not able to muster, I guess. But
Well, I had that on a second viewing. Where on a first viewing, I was like, "Well, this is like whatever."
okay,
It's also funnier just in hindsight,
I do
where it's
think it
like
will
this
be
is crazy.
easier for me. It would be easier for me with that one to come up with 10 things I liked. Probably,
Mhm. Yeah.
I think. But yeah, I've only said it the one time. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you again real soon. Austin, do you have any final thoughts?
Um. Well, I'll tell you a secret about Batman.
Good night,
This is where you just
everybody.
end the show. Good night, everybody.
Ellipsis. Bye, bye, folks.